Hello my bookish besties and welcome back into another video of Vlogmas. Today I thought it'd be fun to discuss some of the bookish things that I'm not only leaving in 2025 but the things I want to bring with me into 2026. So without further ado, let's discuss what I'm leaving. So the first item I think I would like to leave in 2025 is reading books just because they are popular. I have friends that are reading them, social media is telling me to read them, I have FOMO, etc. And book club. Book club's a big one for me. I read so many books that I only pick up because, someone else picked them up. Or I like the author, but the premise doesn't entice me. You know what I mean? And I would like to be a little bit more intentional about that in this upcoming year. I will still try to read out of my comfort zone, obviously. Some of my favorite books I've read so far this year have been books that I read because someone recommended it to me. Like, I didn't necessarily like Atmosphere, for example, but I have thought about it a lot since reading it. And I only read that because people in book club told me to. So, not every book that I see online or hear from friends, etc. is a bad book. It's just my physical TBR and my mental TBR are so large that I would like to start prioritizing books that I know that I am going to enjoy and love. The second thing I would like to leave in 2025 is book buying bans. This one again is kind of tricky because my physical TBR is literally exploding, but I also don't want to feel guilty about buying a book that I'm super excited about. Like, yes, I need to read my physical TBR. Yes, I need to, save money. But if something releases and you are stoked to read it and you want to support the author, you want to read it, this kind of contradicts with the first one, but like your friends are reading it, there's hype, go out and buy the dang book. Maybe don't go out and get 100+ book hauls once a month, but you also shouldn't feel guilty about treating yourself every now and then. The third item I would like to leave in 2025 is caring about my feelings. Let me rephrase that. Caring about the way I say things upsets other people. Okay, let me rephrase that too. Basically what I'm trying to say is I want to not hold back with my reviews. I feel like this happens a lot to me, especially at book club. I'll read a book that I don't really think I'm going to enjoy, but then I leave a negative review, and then I feel like I'm hurting people's feelings, especially if it's a popular book. The Gracier, that is a phenomenal example. Every single person I know loved that book. It just wasn't for me, and I read it because I wanted to go to book club, but I knew going into it probably wasn't going to be a book for me, and that's okay. But I also don't want to feel like I have to filter myself or, alter my star ratings just because other people like it, which technically leads me into 4. I would really like for other people's reviews to not influence or alter my review. Sometimes it is good if you're kind of like on the fence, I guess, about a book, to read other people's thoughts so that you can kind of, oh, they make a good point, or whatever the case may be. But I don't want to finish a book super excited, just, oh my gosh, this was a 5-star, best book I've ever read, I'm so obsessed and I love it, and then I go on Goodreads and it's rated 2 stars by everyone else. Oh, I hated it. And then I don't want to then think to myself, oh, but did I actually love this book? Or the opposite, kind of like 3. I don't really want to finish a book and then say, oh, I hated it, and then I get online and everyone's like, oh, but it was so good, and then I sit there and I'm like, oh, maybe they're right, maybe this book was good, and I'm just being, a harsh critic or whatever. But knowing your own tastes and your feelings is important. The 5th thing I want to leave in 2025 is feeling like audiobooks don't count. Just stop with that nonsense, okay? Audiobooks do count. It's literally ingesting the same media. I don't care. Argue with a wall if you want. Like, you know how they had stories for the longest time before the freaking printing press was invented? Audio. That is the oldest form of storytelling there is. You can't tell me that it doesn't count. So, get out of here with that negative energy. I don't want it. Anywho, the 5 things I would like to bring into 2026. The first one being audiobooks. I love a good audiobook. I love to listen to them while I drive. My husband and I listen to an audiobook together. That's how he prefers to read. I love listening to audiobooks at the gym. Like, I'm one of those people that if I put on music and I'm doing, you know, a rep, and it's a song I know is 3 minutes, I'm doing it and then I'm like, oh my god, 3 minutes has passed. Ugh. But if I'm listening to an audiobook, I get so lost in the story that I'm like, oh my gosh, an hour and a half has already passed and I didn't even notice. And I love that feeling. So I definitely want to continue to listen to audiobooks in 2026. The second thing I want to bring into 2026 is not gatekeeping. If you love a series, share it. Like, let people into these fandoms. The most fun thing about reading is sharing that love with other people. I feel like there's been so much discourse in the past like year-ish of people. This kind of goes back to my not hurting people's feelings with your reviews comment from earlier, stuff I want to leave. There's been so many people online recently that say like stuff along the lines basically of like, oh, well, you know, you're new to this fandom, so you don't actually care about it. Like, you can't be in this fandom. Or, you know, just like whatever the things that are. Like, I don't know. Some of these people, like Cosmere, that is a great example. I recently got into the Cosmere, and when I went to Dragonsteel, everyone there was so friendly and welcoming. It didn't matter that I wasn't caught up. It didn't matter that I just started this past year. In fact, so many people were so supportive and loving of the fact that I just started my Cosmere journey like this year. And that's how every fandom should be. So, something I want to bring into 2026 to kind of summarize: loving each other and loving your fellow readers and supporting their goals, ambitions, and interests. Like, if someone's super passionate about a book, freaking let them talk about that book, okay? The next thing that I'm definitely bringing into 2026 is bookish trinkets. If you've seen literally any of my other videos, specifically like my Nexus haul, that's a good example. I love a bookish trinket, okay? I love a bookish trinket, and I'm not getting rid of them anytime soon. So those will definitely be joining me in 2026. The last thing I would like to bring into 2026 is reading whatever the frick you want. Again, this is like kind of repetitive to some of my other things, but like, if I want to read a Dungeons and Dragons themed book, let me. Like, why does it affect you? Also, read however much you want. If you read one book this year, you are still a reader, okay? Read what you want, read who you want, read about what you want. I don't care. The moral of the story is bring whatever the frick you want to into 2026, okay? This is our year, and it's gonna be awesome. And with that, leave a comment down below with what you're leaving and what you're bringing into this reader journey of yours, both in 2025 and 2026. And be sure to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one.